taken out of there. They shouldn't have them in the polling place, so they surrendered it as.
Hey, Mr. Howell, if you could explain some of the the most common issues you saw with provisional ballots this year.
Board workers do the best they can with the information they have. There were quite a few moves, people who moved and voted in a different precinct than they're registered in. Some of those can count in certain situations. Some of them will get a partial count. They'll get the statewide races, they'll get the countywide races, and the ones that are similar with the ballot they should have received. There's always a few unregistered voters that show up, and those won't count, unfortunately. That's why we encourage registration and encourage people to do that early, long before Election Day. So there's always a few of those.
Were there any recommendations made by the Shawnee County Election Commissioner today that the board disagreed with?
Not at this point. There were not any recommendations. There were two that we had to look with no recommendation and make some decisions onto those.
And how did you rule on those?
We've decided to allow both of those to be accepted.
Okay. Could you explain what the issues were with those two ballots?
On one, we had a difference in what the person's name was versus how they signed their ballot. So going through and making sure that the person who signed the ballot was in fact the person who was listed on the poll.
Okay. Gotcha. And what was the other one?
Let me see. The other.
So it was a signature issue?
Yes. Yes.
Oh, okay.
Yes. Yep. And so just making sure that we had correct signatures on them. The other one was a person who had been out of country, and they were voting, and they put the wrong return address for the ballot. They had listed the actual elections office as the return address rather than their address. And so it's just a voter error, and we decided to allow that one as well.